everyone, happy Thursday, and it's Miss Vasquez for Tech Study. Before we begin, I want to give a shout out to a couple Kipsters in Notre Dame whose teachers know that you're working really hard. Now, my first Kipster is Lauren in Notre Dame, and my second Kipster is David, again in Notre Dame. Now, for today's Tech Study lesson, you won't need anything but your brain. Now, for today's lesson, you will be able to identify characters in a text. When I say characters, I mean the people or the animal that have talking parts that the story is about. Now, I'm going to show you how we can practice identifying the characters in a text using a story that we've already read before. Now, this text is Koala Lou by Mem Fox. Now, I'm going to read a page and look at the illustrations and show you what we do next. The first thing we do when we identify characters is we find the pictures of the characters. Now, I turn to this page right here. I see a little koala and a big koala. The next thing we do is we can read the text and we find their names. But it was her mother who loved her most of all. 100 times a day, she would laugh and shake her head and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." I've read my text and I'm thinking about their names. I see the name Koala Lou. That's who the mother is speaking to. So we have a mother and we have Koala Lou. I think that the big koala must be mother. And the little koala that she tells she loves her to is Koala Lou. Because the last thing that we do is we match the characters in the pictures with their names. Now we're going to read a brand new text today, and I'm so excited for it. My text is Sophia Valdez, Future Press. And when we're reading, you will find the pictures of the characters. You're going to find their names and match the characters in the picture with their name. Get ready. Sophia was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned 1. She and Abuelo, that means Grandpa, went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek who couldn't get out and about on their own and with no place to gather were stuck home alone. Do you see the illustrations right here? I see 2 characters. Who do you think those characters are? I'll read the text again and you can tell me by matching the characters in the pictures with their name. She and Abuelo went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek who couldn't get out and about on their own and with no place to gather were stuck home alone. Now, on this page, I don't think I heard a young girl's name. So if you don't remember, that's okay. But I heard the word abuelo. And abuelo means grandpa in Spanish. So who do you think these 2 people are? Yeah, this must be abuelo. And I'm going to turn the page to see if we hear her name again. Raking the leaves, taking pets for a walk, or just dropping by for a treat and a talk, Sophia Valdez did as much as she could for her family and friends and her whole neighborhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real-life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sophia liked better. Did you hear her name? What's her second character's name? Yeah, her name is Sophia. Sophia Valdez. Ooh. Each morning, Abuelo walked Sophia to class. They were walking home again along the Blue River Pass, making plans, munching cookies, Abuelo and girl, except for that Tuesday when Pup saw a squirrel. With a howl, Pup took off, racing all through the town, over, under, beneath, and around. Sophia scrambled to try to keep up with the howling man and the bellowing pup. Whoa. Up the squirrel ran to the top of a hill, made of leftover junk for the local landfill. They reached the tip-top of that mountain of trash, which jiggled and broke with a splattering crash. Down they all tumbled and hit with a thud on a moldy old pumpkin surrounded by mud. Kind of gross. Ouch, cried Abuelo. He struggled to stand. A dangerous mess, he said, grasping her hand. The next day, Sophia walked to school solo, but it wasn't the same without her abuelo. This is not right, declared young Sophia, who glared at the trash more and got an idea. So right there, she's looking at all of the trash. The very next morning, at dawn, she planted a sign at the front of the lawn. She stood back and smiled, and a pup gave a bark. Now, Sophia's sign says, "Get rid of Mount Trashmore. Let's build a new park." Each of her neighbors had something to say about benches and fountains and places to play. Meeting spots, gardens, a basket for bees, a rubber duck pond, and a kiosk for cheese. She drew every thought on her map of the park, which was perfectly perfect, by a quarter till dark. So her neighbors had so much to say about the park that she thinks they could build. She drifted to sleep in her spot cozy bed. Then, bam, she woke up with a thought smacked her head. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized each one of her neighbors had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sophia could build it alone. But how could one girl do so much on her own? The weight of the thought made her tender heart ache as night thunder growled and she lay wide awake. Then dawn brought a storm and the gloomy sky wept, and the heartsick Sophia finally slept. Abuelo baked cookies. When Sophia got up, he gave her a bagful and sneaked one to the pup. He blinked back a tear as she hugged his Sophia. For courage, he whispered, "Te amo, mi vida." That means I love you, my life. Sophia's knees wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle and quite nearly cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sophia Valdez went to face City Hall. Here's a picture of the library and City Hall, where Sophia is going. The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue River Creek Department of Fun, which sent her downstairs to room 302, the Office of Duck Ponds and Cool Things to Do, to the Office of Monkeys, the Department of Cheese, the Division of Fountains, the Meetings and Bees, then down to the basement, so musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped. And that's where the clerk said what no one else did, "You can't build a new park. You're only a child." Now, I'm going to stop the text right here, and we'll finish the book tomorrow. Remember, during this lesson, you identified characters in a text. Those are the animals, the people who have big speaking parts. Now, the first thing we did was find pictures of the characters. The next thing we did was find their names. Finally, we matched the characters in the picture with their name. Now, you can grab a book at home and do the same thing.